It's finally time. Fire up the gerbils. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready. The buffer is almost complete. The show is almost ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, our in-flight entertainment is about to begin. For further details, please refer to your copy of the in-flight entertainment guide found in the seat pocket in front of you. Thank you.
What's up, man? Hi, what's going on? What's going on? I'm just checking the stream status. Make sure everything is golden, you know? So, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Up in the Air Live. Finally back on our normal schedule.
Some new graphics.
Yeah. Chino Santana, huge shout out to Chino for the graphics that we had. So, real quick, we want to address some of the issues that we've had with the live streams earlier. So, for the past couple of weeks, we were trying to do some streams and we were having so many issues. So, we finally got our old software up and running and working. So, hopefully the gerbils hold out to power the stream. So far, so good. Sounds good on my end. Does it sound good on your end, Billy?
Sounds fine over here.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Just making sure that all the audio levels are good. We don't have any issues here. Everything should be good. You know, we don't get it rolling. Yeah. So I just enabled.
So I guess the topic of the hour is the DJI event.
They're saying your audio sucks, dude.
No, I just think that Greg is messing with me.
No, it's coming a little pop.
Does my audio have a problem?
It sounds like a little poppy for a minute. Maybe the mic is having an issue with the connection.
I don't know.
That's what it sounds like. Is it on a stand or something? Maybe bouncing around.
I've got it on a stand. There's no way.
That's me. I just muted Billy by accident. I wanted to see if Billy's audio, something's up with your audio connection.
All right. You know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Midstream. Start talking and I'll fix this.
Okay. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Up in the Air Live. While Billy takes a look at his audio issues, I just enabled noise gate on your thing too. So go ahead and say something, Billy. I think maybe I got it fixed.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I fixed it. I enabled noise gate. Yeah, I fixed it. I think so. Anyways, I don't know. We'll find out. They'll let us know if it's not. So popcorn audio, Billy. They're saying, yeah, it could have just been noise gate wasn't enabled. Sometimes you have to enable that with certain streams. We're streaming at a higher resolution this week. I bumped it up to 1080p. And then I bumped your video is up to 1080p now, so it matches mine. So, anyways, whatever. We'll roll with it. So, all back. You're all settled in from traveling from Florida to back to Philly now. You were in Connecticut this weekend.
Hot down there.
Yeah, it was pretty miserable, man. It's hot, really hot right now. The humidity is absolutely outrageous. It was 89 degrees today, which I got 2 text messages, one from Chino, one from Joe, and they're like, it's so hot, it's miserable. I'm like, dude, we have this year round.
It's 102 today up near me, so.
Yeah, it's been miserable as of late, so I don't know what's up with that. Anyways.
So the topic at hand is the DJI event, and I feel like we've really pushed the Autel for the past couple of weeks, especially you. And I think
I'm done talking. I'm done talking about it. Yeah, I'm a little bit done talking about it just because it's been talked about so much, and nobody else. You know, there's not a lot of reviewers got it in their hands, from what it sounds like. Anyways, I could be wrong. Could be really wrong, but yeah, done talking about it.
Yeah, and you know,
your audio is still popping really bad.
Really, all right, give me 1 sec here.
I'll let you sort that out. I'm just going to throw this down at the bottom here for the moment. All right, so I'll let Billy work out his audio. I just threw it on the mute for the moment while he figures out what's going on. Hopefully my audio is coming in clear. Yeah, Billy, I killed his audio until he figures out what's happening here. It's weird because usually I'm the one that has the issues and he's usually flawless, but that's cool. Anyways, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the DJI event, probably a lot about the DJI event. So if you hang on, I'm raising you back up here. You good?
How am I now? Does it sound better?
Yeah, it sounds a little better. Just, you know, maybe like repeat after me. I don't know. I don't have anything to say, but just, what's up with the mic? What mic are you using? Now you got no audio, bro. No, I can't hear you at all. You got no audio now. We went from popping audio to no audio. We're working on it. If you got to log off and then log back in, go ahead and do that. I don't think it's going to break anything too badly. Or will it? I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, try it. You know what? Just try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? It just never comes back, and then I'm stuck here with frozen Billy. That's fine. Anyways, so did he just freeze like that? Did you freeze? That's the best. Look at that face. That is priceless. Anyways, while Billy's frozen, I almost can't even stare at this screen. Oh my God. Somebody screenshot this and save this. Post this to Twitter. Post this to DJI Workshop. This is the best face ever. So Billy's absolutely frozen right now. Anyways, I'm just going to put a piece of tape on there. He's not popping anymore. So we had some points of conversation. We want to talk a little bit about the DJI event that's fast approaching.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
How does it sound? Any popping?
There's no popping, but this reminds me of a Sprint commercial now.
Why?
I don't know, because you're wearing a yellow shirt and you just asked, can you hear me now?
Well, that was Verizon's shtick first. All right, so here's the thing, is I've got the blue Snowball, but I've been using a cord bought on Amazon, so I could go right from the Snowball to my USB-C, and I didn't need an adapter. So maybe this cord is just bad. I've got no idea.
I'm thinking it's the fact that it's got to go through the USB-C. I mean, I know mine was a little funky with it. It didn't like the USB-C adapter.
Really?
So all my mics are USB-A now, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Osby Drone says, at least my show is not the only one with tech problems.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the funny thing is, I don't know if you saw the face that I was frozen on. That was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, I made sure everybody screenshotted it, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting a new mic.
So, yeah, that was the first. I had to kick the Snowball. It's back on my work PC just because the Snowball keeps, like, it kept crashing Windows. Every time I would use it, it would crash Windows. I don't understand it, but it would crash it, and I wasn't about to keep messing with it. So I went ahead and disabled all the enhancements on your voice, so hopefully that'll help out a little bit if you're not using the Snowball.
Perfect.
So maybe the Blue Yeti is the way to go, man.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll try something. I got to find something else.
I'll try to continue to work on your voice. I mean, we've got everything maxed out. Stream quality's good, but anyways, I don't want to spend too much time on the audio. If it sucks, it sucks, and that's whatever. So DJI event, the 18th.
Yeah. So I guess the biggest thing is obviously what are they going to release? And I think that everyone probably is assuming that they're going to release the new DJI Matic Pro 2, if they're even going to call that. But something, I guess, before we get into what we think. Ken and I have been talking about it, and what if they came out something entirely different? Something like a more of a hybrid between the Mavic Pro and the Phantom, because now it needs to hold that bigger 1-inch sensor, meaning the bigger camera. And look at a Mavic Pro, if it kept that same body style, having the Phantom 4 Pro's camera on the front would look so weird.
You know, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people are so sort of like stuck on the fact that DJI has to have a sequel to the Mavic. I mean, it's very apparent that most flyers or drone pilots or anybody who's an enthusiast or contemplating getting a drone are thinking about getting a portable drone. Like, that's sort of where their head's at as far as that goes. But I think if you're just coming into the drone scene, you're thinking, okay, I want a drone, I want to get a DJI drone. You know, you have the Mavic as an option right now. You have the Mavic Air as an option right now. I mean, it would make sense for them to keep the Mavic branding, but they don't necessarily have to.
They definitely don't, but I think that choosing a different name than Mavic would probably not be wise because
for sure.
All the build up behind the name. I mean, I think I watched a video earlier where they talked about this specifically. It's like if they don't keep that Mavic name, they're fools. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they do have to keep the Mavic name just for the simple fact that it's sort of already indexed in searches and everybody expects, you know, the Mavic name as far as, you know, when it comes to a portable drone. Hell, it really invented that whole class of drones at this point when you think about it.
So real quick, anybody that is going to be talking about the possibility of a Phantom 5, I've said this a lot before, and I'll say it again real quick just to kind of squash any rumors about a Phantom 5, is that usually when they release their bigger cinema-oriented cameras, such as the Phantom 4 Pro and the Inspire 2, Both of those were launched and released out in Los Angeles. And then where they're going to be releasing some of their more portable drones, their more consumer level drones, that's going to be over in New York. Now, if you look at their track record, the Spark, the Matic Pro, and the Mavic Air all were released in New York. Whereas, again, the Phantom Pro and Inspire 2 were released over in Los Angeles. So that seems to be what we're going to be going with. I don't think it's going to be a Phantom 5, and I could probably guarantee you it's not going to be a Phantom 5, although I could be eating my words in a couple of weeks here.
You could be like that guy at Philly that said that LeBron was going to Philly, man.
What was that?
I said you could be like the guy on Twitter that predicted LeBron going to Philly.
Yo, I was really upset about that.
Most hated man in Philadelphia right now, by the way.
Yeah. This guy tweeted, I don't know if you guys pay attention to basketball. This guy was like, LeBron is choosing either between LA or the Sixers. Apparently, he had no interest in the Sixers, but everybody on the Sixers thought he had an interest in the Sixers. And I think that everyone else really did. It was between those two teams. And this guy who's a reporter was like, that the coaching staff from the Sixers alerted Philadelphia PD to get ready for a citywide celebration. And then literally 2 minutes after that, LeBron signed with the Lakers. So.
That was pretty funny. So I think you're right, though, as far as that goes. If we do see a Mavic, given the fact with that picture that they said, see the bigger picture, I'm almost anticipating a 1-inch sensor. I can't imagine DJI not giving the people a 1-inch sensor on a portable drone. If they don't give a 1-inch sensor, it's going to be the biggest mistake of their life.
I agree, and it's funny because I came to that realization today, and when I told you about it, you were like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So, I mean, see the bigger picture. You can take a bigger picture with a bigger sensor. I don't know. I think that it is a play on words. And I actually just saw an interesting comment.
And that's all subjective, though. That's really subjective. Like when we're talking about 1-inch to compact, 1-inch to compact sensor, really, realistically, when you're down that small, the focal length of the lens will really determine whether or not the picture is going to be bigger. Because we're seeing that like with the Evo, with the Inspire 1. When I was flying Mel's Inspire this week, I noticed that he also had a 94-degree field of view. So it was sort of interesting. Mm-hmm. So you can get a bigger picture.
I saw a quick comment here. Zeppi said that the Matic Pro 2 with the 1-inch sensor would ruin sales for the Phantom 4. And while that might be true, that could just mean it's kind of like it needs to push the other one. So if they come out with the Mavic Pro 2, they're inevitably going to have to upgrade the Phantom to the Phantom 5. So you could see that probably happening in a couple of months afterwards.
So let's think about that. The Phantom 4 sort of already went through its life cycle as far as how long it's been on the shelf. How long has it been on the shelf realistically? It's been on the shelf for almost 2.5 years, right? Mm-hmm. 2.5.
Like 1.5 to 2, almost 2.
Okay, so we're at 2 years. They just now did a little bit of a refresh, and it's that was sort of like a, I don't know, smack in the face refresh with the 2.0.
The Platinum. And then the Platinum also.
So if they give the Mavic a 1-inch sensor, the next time we see a Phantom, it should technically have micro four thirds.
That, or it could have the ability to shoot in like 5.2K, a higher resolution than 4K, which would be crazy.
Right. They're just going to make it marginally better, but honestly, a freaking micro four thirds camera on a drone is just crazy. I saw at CES there was a demonstration of a drone that had a micro four thirds camera, and I thought it was amazing because he was using lenses from like a Panasonic G7. That was amazing.
Crazy.
I mean that could happen. Again, we don't know. It's all speculation, and I think that's the biggest thing to remember here is anytime we're talking or anybody you see on the internet talking, nobody has the information. Nobody has like the bleeding edge info over the next person, so we can always be wrong. We try to give ourselves that, that benefit of the doubt that we are going to be wrong, and you'll never catch either one of us ever really get too wrapped up in speculation because it's just not fair to the industry and it's not fair to the people following along. Because people could buy whatever still.
I really I'm like 95% sure it's going to be a Mavic, and I think that 95% of people think that's going to be a Mavic. But personally, I'd love to see another Phantom. That's my favorite drone. My Phantom is a little bit damaged right now, and but people seem to think that there's no space in the industry for the Phantom. They say, well, why buy the Phantom when you can buy the Mavic? And I feel like those are the people that really don't care about image quality But now, once these people are able to get a better camera in a smaller drone, they're going to realize why I was preaching about the Phantom 4 Pro the entire time.
So yeah, exactly. I mean, it'd be great to have a 1-inch sensor to be portable. I mean, obviously the Phantom's not the easiest thing to tote around.
Definitely
You
not.
know, although I got to give you props for bringing a Phantom, a Mavic Air, a Mavic Pro all in the backpack on the airplane. And bigger shout out to Francesca for having to tug that all around.
Yeah, she was a real trooper.
That's epic right there. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, we could all be like, we can all show up at the event and be totally like, you know, outclassed by DJI and be looking at like some sort of like camera, because they do own Hasselblad, right? So who says it has to be a drone? It doesn't have to be a drone. It can be like a more affordable version of Hasselblad's camera or something. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's funny that we haven't seen them implement Hasselblad cameras into their drone because they bought Hasselblad, correct?
Yeah, they did buy Hasselblad, so they own that glass, that imagery. That's all under DJI's umbrella. So, and they make some phenomenal cameras.
Yeah. Now here's something I guess that's a little bit interesting is that there's reports that there's going to be multiple levels of the drone. So
I don't think so.
With different specs for each drone, it's going to be basically the same thing, although watered down versions of it. Now, this seems to be something that DJI would do, where they would come out with the drone and then say, here it is, and then about 7 or 8 months later, they'd come out with that lower tier version. So it would be nice if they plan on doing that, they were just like, here, this is all we've got. We're going to lay it on the table right now. Buy which one you want, and they don't do that in a couple of months from now.
I mean, they very well may do that. I just don't see them doing that at first. And the only reason why I don't see them doing that at first, you have the Mavic Air, which is sort of like the watered down version at this point. I mean, it still can compete and go head to head. Obviously, not with the range of the, the Mavic Pro, but still, I mean, it still captures a great image. It still captures, you know, basically everything you would want it to. But then, you know, obviously, I don't see them doing that. If they do, it's going to be like, okay, 3 months later type of day, or 90 days later type of thing, to capitalize on those people that maybe were like, it wasn't enough, and then they're like, here you go type of thing. I sort of... I did make an adjust. I know 400 was like, yo, I think that adjustment you made to his audio. You know what it is? With not having a mic, you know, when he's not using the mic, it's hard to really dial it in. But we'll fix that. We're gonna get a mic.
Yeah, so I'm going right through my AirPods right now.
Yeah, and it's working fine, man.
Hybrid Quadcopter said Autel has multiple versions of the Evo. They don't.
They don't have
multiple versions.
No, they tease exactly, and that was their mistake. So this is all. And that's all I'm going to say about this is that if they didn't show that at CES, we may not have the July 18th event. It may have. What do you mean? I think we could have waited till maybe October or maybe late August to see this.
Yeah, I think that they were probably waiting. All right, so I think that really this drone's got to be something that competes with the Autel Evo, because the Autel Evo's release triggered this event. So I think that they were probably going to say, we've got this drone, and we're either going to release it 2 years after the Mavic Pro or whenever something else comes out on the market that we need to basically destroy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's fair enough. I mean, they can obviously do that. But I think this is what I think, you know, after seeing all these drones that come out, and we'll get to this in a minute, so I guess I won't bring this up, but what features do you want to see? If we are going to see a Mavic Pro 2, what features do you want to see?
Dude, if you think about it, like you think about the Mavic Pro drone in itself, it's so perfect all around. It's got great speed, great compact design. It's got great flight time. So I think that a couple of things we'll see is like the Mavic Pro Platinum, basically with the quieter props. We'll also see it with those upgraded ESCs to give us a longer flight time. But something that I'd love to see is probably like an upward optical avoidance sensor, like an IR sensor.
Okay.
That might be added. But the thing with these compact drones is that if you look at the Mavic Pro, I'm pointing at it over there, the top of the Mavic Pro is the battery. So like it would be a little bit weird how they try to implement it. Maybe they would implement it more towards like the front of the drone, but I think that more sensors is definitely something we're going to see. They won't come out with a Pro version of the Mavic and not have the backward sensors, whereas the Mavic Air has those backward sensors.
So, okay. That's fair enough. My thing is I want to see HDR video, but I want to see it implemented well. I wouldn't mind zoom. Like, you know, after seeing the anafi and they claim lossless zoom, I would like to see zoom. And I would
love to test the anafi and see if it's actually lossless.
Because I was watching a couple of videos and they have a parallax effect. Did you see that? Where they can they can pull this drone out and zoom in at the same time. It's a feature that the anafi has. It's called parallax, and it looks trippy.
Well, that's the thing, is I like something that Parrot did was, instead of just basically blatantly copying all of the different flight modes that DJI has, of course they implemented the ones that are most important and the best, like the active track, although I don't really know what they call it.
I don't know.
Also, they've got point of interest, all of that stuff, but they implemented some of their own. So 3D mapping is kind of like a flight mode that you can access through the app rather than having to use a separate app like Ground Station Pro. Also, the parallax effect. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, the parallax, I think, was like, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, that is freaking amazing. Like, just the parallax effect.
You could always do that within editing if you want, within post. You could create that parallax effect. But being able to create it right then and there on your drone, not have to edit it, really does cater to people who might not want to go through that whole entire post-production process.
It's not even the people that don't know how to, like, that don't want to go through it. It's like a lot of people really can't figure it out. Like, they don't understand. You're pulling out, but then you're keyframing the zoom in, and then sometimes you do it incorrectly, and it just botches the whole thing. It is a tricky thing to do. It's a tricky thing to do. I think it's actually pretty easy in Premiere right now after trying it a couple times. But zoom would be one of the big things that I want to see. HDR video would be another. You said rear obstacle avoidance, and then like some sort of top. Oh, better gimbal. Pepe Le Pew says better gimbal. I agree with that.
I agree with that entirely. But here's the thing: is they went on the route with the Mavic Air. They included a gimbal that looks like the Sparks, and I mean, it's literally a bigger version of the Sparks gimbal and camera.
But it works.
And while that was great and all, it works, but it doesn't work in sport mode. And I'm someone who is basically always flying in sport mode. And sometimes when I'm farther out, I look down at my controller and I try to look through the screen to fly FPV, make sure there's nothing around me. And the biggest gripe is that if you're facing forward and you've got the camera pointed straight ahead, you push forward with the Mavic
I know what you're saying.
Mavic Air, camera shoots down. It almost makes
that's because it's like this. Impossible. Have you ever seen it? Like in sport mode, the Mavic Pro is like almost at a 45-degree angle, just ripping it. I noticed that this weekend because I threw it in sport mode. I was going to try to get some video, and all I can get was the grass. That was about the best I can do.
But the thing is, because of the gimbal design, they try to protect it so much that they push it towards the back, and the further they push it back, kind of covering it over the top, that's going to make the gimbal shoot downward so that you don't get the body in the shot. So I think that they should come up with some sort of happy medium of a robust gimbal and also something that doesn't limit your filming capabilities.
You know what? I'm just going to say it here. Fuck a robust gimbal. I've had too much drink already. Gimbal. I want a removable gimbal. I don't even care. I don't want a robust gimbal. Just give me a removable gimbal. I don't care if I can't change the camera, but I want something removable.
Why do you want to remove it, though?
If it breaks, I can also take it apart, take it off when I travel, whatever. I want a removable gimbal. I want the option to possibly upgrade. I'm tired of being limited. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how many times you buy a camera, like you have your G7, you've had that. And if you want to make your G7 better, you put a speed booster on it. You get a new lens, and it all of a sudden becomes a brand new camera again because now you have a lens, you have a new focal length, everything changes. Give me something removable. Let me upgrade my camera. I don't understand
my thing
that.
Too. With these drones, and I don't even care if this is like proprietary because obviously each drone is different. So let's say we've got the Mavic Air and it comes with this standard camera. Maybe they decrease the cost of it by you can only shoot in 1080p with a lower resolution camera. But for that specific drone, they have a couple of different cameras. So one camera, kind of like we see with the Inspire 2, being able to put that camera, I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's the one that can zoom in 53 times, right? So just having these different cameras we can include, right? I mean, I would pay an extra $200 for an extra camera, maybe down the line if I'm getting bored with my drone. And, let's say those are the cameras just for the Mavic Air. Maybe people wouldn't like it because you have to buy new cameras for new drones, but, I mean, they're going to be giving you more than you want. So opposed to just having this regular 4K shooter like we always have, give me something else that I can buy extra. So down the line, if I get bored, I can use something else.
But that's what I'm thinking is like if you want to really future-proof something, make it modular so that way you can just sell us accessories. I mean, you're going to make money on accessories, and then even if you came out with a new drone, like let's just say you come out with a new drone, you know how many people will still buy the new drone over the I mean, honestly, it's like putting a Starbucks next to a Dunkin' Donuts, you know, and doing this like 4 miles down the road. They're all going to make money. It's going to happen.
And I've heard that DJI has now been committed to making their drones more modular in the future. I forget exactly where that was said, but DJI did say that going forward, they're going to try to make their drones more modular, which is, I think, something that anybody can appreciate.
Yeah, no, I would be so stoked if it was modular. But, you know, we just talked about all the things that we want to see on the drone, but now let's talk about cost. What do we think this is going to come in at cost point?
I think that with all of these things we're hoping for and all the things that we're wishing for, it's going to have to see some sort of price boost. And I know that we talked about this earlier. I'll let you talk about the price comparison between something like the Evo, but I'm thinking it's going to be more than $1,000. Anywhere between $11.99, $12.99, something like that, I think is a fair price. I mean, if they deliver with this camera that's like a Phantom 4 Pro on a smaller drone like the Mavic, I think that Joe would have a problem paying that price.
Joe says, Joe. Fun for a plane ticket. Thank you, Joe. Much appreciated.
Thank you for the super chat, Joe.
That was awesome. Okay, so here's what I think. I think you're right. I think it's going to top out $12.99 on the high end of things. On the high end, just because it's DJI.
If they go any higher than that, it's going to be almost ridiculous. You know, like $400 more than the last.
On the low end of things, like super surprising, I would say $9.99 just to smack the little orange around. I think that would be like that's like sort of like if they did that, they would still make money because I think a lot of these drones probably have a cost of maybe $500 in materials in them. Plus your marketing costs and your distribution costs, you're probably at about $700. So they'd be making about a $200 profit, give or take, before whatever happens between the distributors and everything else. I mean, would they be willing to do that? I don't think they will, just because I don't think they have to. I don't think there is another competitor on the market.
And it's not like DJI, I mean, of course they want to make money. Of course they need the money. But they have so much money and they know that this product is going to sell well that they can take a gamble like that and make less money knowing they're going to sell so many of them.
Right. And I think that's the thing. They sort of get the idea that, hey, we're the juggernaut in the room and we're going to be able to set our price in and then everybody else will sort of follow. Now, if that does happen, if it even comes close, if it even comes close to that $11.99 mark, you'll see other lines drop. So that's why, like, people who are looking to buy a drone, even if you're not sold on DJI right now, I would just wait till the 18th. Wait until there's some sort of confirmed pricing, because I think what you'll find happens, the competitors or, you know, the challengers, I guess at this point, will start lowering their price. Like that, the anafi is what, $6.99. That can even see $5.99, especially with the software hiccups. And we're going to get to that here in a moment. But you know, I can see them dropping price. Autel, I can see dropping the price as well of theirs by $100. I mean, it's savings or savings any way you cut it. But yeah, so the pricing will be interesting to see. But really, I'm excited for this event to see whatever it could be. Like I said, we're hoping it's the Mavic.
It's time for a new drone, in my opinion. So, I mean, you know, these channels of ours are fueled on new drones coming out, and I always love getting my hands on the latest and greatest. And anytime that DJI comes out with a drone, it always causes a huge uproar. And, you know, being able to fly like things like the Evo and being able to check out the anafi was fun. But now it's like the big boys are up to the plate, and finally you get to check out what they've got stored up in their
it's just really big boy at this point, because
one big boy
at this point, which really, I mean, there's got to be something, you know, some company out there that can at least go head to head. I mean, this is getting ridiculous.
I think that, oh my god, my voice is cracking.
That wasn't the audio. That was
not the audio. That was straight from my mouth, my vocal cords.
Man.
So I think that the only one that can really compete with them, even though they're like the new kid on the block, is the Skydio. Like, that thing was impressive.
Yeah, they just got to work on the camera quality. It's very like sort of,
and the price point.
$2,500 is insane.
Yeah.
I would take half
Too
those
much.
features in a smaller drone or something. That California company, I don't know what the company's name is, but I don't even think they even produced or put it out in the public. But there was, again, something demoed at CES that looked relatively interesting. I think it was like $1,400, but still, I mean, we're tossing around money like this like it's nothing. This is not chump change. This is a lot of money when you're talking about something you're not going to fly every day. Haven't really seen the chat too much tonight. So all right, so let's move away from the DJI event. Obviously, it's on the 18th of July. Both of us will be there to take a look at it, and hopefully we'll have our first thoughts, opinions of it. We're not going to put out any speculations videos. I haven't seen any leaks. I'm not going out to FCC. I don't care, because honestly, when it comes out, and that's probably like I would just say just be patient till we do get to the event.
If you guys are interested in leaks and rumors, I know that they've got a press event on the 11th. DroneDJ covered that. I've been writing for DroneDJ, but we covered that. There's a press event on the 11th. The only thing is, I don't think that anybody at that press event is going to be willing to leak it. It's all probably going to be like high profile individuals, high profile brands. You know,
Chino, I got the logo like over my end here. So I just kept it there because if you put it up, actually, you got to fix the logo, dude. I can't fix the logo. He's like, fix the logo. You made the logo. He made it white. It's white. I need the up in the air black so it stands out in the chat area. If I move it up there, so Chino's got to fix the logo. He's like, you fix the logo. So let's talk anafi for a moment. I saw a lot of reviews hit the web today. The Verge specifically did a review, and they were very critical on it.
Yeah, so it just, I mean, I guess it started shipping on the 1st, which was yesterday, right? And I guess that some people probably got it in their hands a little bit earlier than the 1st. It seems like everybody in France or Europe had this before us over in the States. I think that it got out a little bit early over there. They're a French company. It makes sense.
Sure.
But people, Eli, go buy a Capri Sun, Billy. Eli, next stream, I'll make sure I've got Capri Suns. I'm sorry, I don't have any Capri Suns. I would go raid my fridge, but I know there's none in there.
Billy fell down the stairs trying to make it to the stream today.
Oh my God. I was a mess. I was running downstairs and I just ate it.
So what did you think of the Verge's review of that? You think they were spot on?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the chance to fly the thing, and I mean, even their title was critical, just saying DJI.
Oh, it's very biased. Very biased.
I mean, that was a shot, and I don't know if they're just doing that to keep good
Joe.
good standards or whatever with DJI, just so that in the future they'll be able to get on their good side. Thank you, Joe.
They're a massive media brand, and thank you, Eli. Eli, very much appreciate it. Thank you, both of you guys. But what gets me is like they don't really have to do that.
I know, right?
They're Vox Media. Like, you're not going to get blacklisted from the DJI event. Of course, you guys are going to be there. Like, why? I don't understand that. Like, that sort of didn't make sense to me.
I think that people aren't looking at the Parrot for what it is.
So it's got a 2-mile range, which I think is pretty decent. I mean,
plenty.
like, what do you need? What do you need much more than that for? I don't understand.
People love to say that the drone can go a certain range, but you never actually go that far. And if you do, you live in like a remote area. For example, I was flying over the Long Island Sound, and I was able to hit 3 miles, and that was fun. But once I got 3 miles out, it was all water,
Whoa! I don't need. Whoa!
Thank you, Dennis.
Dennis, who is Dennis? That is the first. Dennis, welcome to the show, man. I don't think I've ever met you before, but welcome. Holy cow, thank you, man. Wow. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, when I was doing the range tests over the week, and people were like, you didn't push it farther. Honestly, 1.8 miles to me seemed like very much sufficient, in that aspect.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's
I don't know.
Once you even get a mile out, you lose positioning on the drone. I mean, maybe you can still see a line of sight. You got to fly line of sight, of course. But at that point, it's so hard to pick that speck out of the sky that, I don't know, maybe for first responders, it would make more sense. And that's why something like the Matrice gives you longer range, or it's not longer range, but you might be able to fly further with it, or you want to fly further with it. But something like a Matic Pro, you're not going to want to push it 4.5 miles. And by the time you get out there, your battery's going to die. I mean, you got to turn right around once you get out that.
Right. So that was funny that you say that. Like, you know, and again, with the anafi, you're getting about, what, 25 minutes of quoted flight time is what they said anyways, which is definitely respectable. And I'm sure that would be right at capacity to make it out 2 miles, flip around and come back. Whoa, 400 AGL.
Man.
Thank you, man.
Mel,
Mel, you did not have to do that, dude. You did not have to do that. Mel and me had, let me tell you, wait until you guys see the video I shot, and I edited it together. I put it all together. It's going live on Wednesday. I just can't find myself to put it together. Thank you, Pepe Le Pew. Thank you, dude.
Oh, man, $5. Thank you, Pepe.
Thank you, sir. I can't find myself, like, to put it tomorrow. I just have to let it marinate just a little bit. But we're in Waffle House, man. Like, you know, it's the first time I've met Mel, like, ever. And we're in Waffle House, and we have a crowd around us because it's like what he's doing is ridiculous. And I've been flipping quarters and trying to push quarters through a table. He does the most ridiculous magic trick, and like I got free waffles. I'm not going to spoil it all because you have to watch the video, but I got free waffles out of the deal. I mean, any friend that gets you free waffles is a friend for life. That's all I know. It's friend for life. Waffles. I'm easy. I'm pretty easy. But yeah. So
all right, let's get on track here.
The anafi.
I mean, the good thing about the anafi is they showed up with a product that was finished,
ready to go. What do you think of the
product ready to go?
What do you think of that SD card placement?
Where at?
It's literally right under the battery. It's sort of weird.
Yeah.
It looks like a mobile phone. You know how the phones. And matter of fact, they said that in the review. Like, it looks like a SIM card tray. I'm not really a fan of that. But
and so I guess on a drone that small, they need to find room, you know? And it could be annoying. I know many times I get the drone on the ground and I go to take off, like, oh, SD card. And being able to get the drone down, GPS set, IMU calibrated, I mean, all of the above. You get it all set up and you figure out you have to put a SD card in and you have to take the battery out. It'd be annoying.
Yeah, so here, I guess, you know, and I mean, again, not having the drone in my hand, I'm contemplating getting it in my hand here. Just a little disappointed with the reviews, but here's the common denominator from everything I've seen with all the drones, all the reviews that have happened recently, is that software is the biggest Achilles heel for all these new drones. It's not the hardware they can't get right. It's like they get the drone ready. Whoa, thank you, Bill. Starbucks
for the trip.
Yo, thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Fan.
I am a huge Starbucks fan. As a matter of fact, Billy brought me Starbucks every day that we shot together.
Dunkin' one day, Starbucks the other day.
Oh, yeah, he didn't bring me Dunkin'. That was okay. I'm an easy guy. Black coffee.
For that Starbucks, I had to go into a Target with no drive-through.
Oh, the one on 19. Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, it's just so weird. All the Starbucks here are in Targets, and then they close early.
So weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Florida, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd love to get the anafi, but it's like we've got the Matic Pro 2 right around the corner. It's not cheap to buy these drones, and I gotta save up to get that. So
I don't know. I just don't. You know, here's my thought. You get the Mavic Pro 2. I'll get the anafi, or I'll get the Pro 2. Well, you want the Pro 2. I know you want the Pro 2. I'm gonna probably just buy the anafi. Then we'll have the
really.
Yeah, I'm just probably gonna buy the anafi. Then you don't have to worry about buying it. We'll flip flop. It's just gonna give me a reason to fly up, or you fly down. I'm up next to fly down, and then you got to fly back down. Or maybe we should meet in the middle. We should meet in the middle. We should go to Tennessee and hang out with Ken. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So the software on the anafi. The software.
But here's the thing: is when I got there, and I didn't get much time with the app at the hands-on event or at the release event because the guy kept taking the controller out of my hand, and also everything was in French. But what the app seemed like it worked really well.
It looks smooth, but again, they're only going to let you click on what they know is going to work. Like when I demo software and do keynotes for my company, I have a specific guideline of like, okay, click this, don't click any of these because everything's going to go sideways on you and then you're not going to be able to recover. So, I mean, but again, they're handing it to you. So I'm wondering if they have features suppressed in the app that could have been turned off.
Yeah, and I didn't get much of the time to like flip through the app again, and also some guy just hit me with the drone.
Rick Halber. Rick, you're not. No more super chats from Rick.
We're gonna be up real late with all this coffee.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's gonna be a mad rush. Get out of there and get editing.
One Starbucks coffee is like $10, so.
Yeah, we're already bought one coffee. Thank you guys so much. You guys are all absolutely awesome. And for anybody who's new here, we're just checking out the show. Thanks again for hanging out and chatting with us. So if you're just joining right now, we're talking about the anafi, and neither one of us got it in our hands as of yet. We're sort of pondering over this thought of which one of us should get it. But we're looking at. Thank you, Eli. Thank you so much, guys.
Hey, Eli. Thank you.
Eli was sitting in here for 30 minutes last night because I'm an idiot and I put the stream at 8:30 last night because I just got all the software set up. I was working with Chino on the logos and everything, and yeah, so that was.
Eli does bring up a good point. How much value do you think the Matic Pro will lose once the Matic Pro 2 comes out? I'm debating selling mine, but I'll be disappointed if there's no Matic Pro 2. So that's a really good point. That's like a tough question to ask. So, I've heard rumors of iPads coming out. We might get these new iPads. So I've been listing my iPads, trying to sell them to get more value for them, so I can in turn buy the new iPads when they come out. But yeah. I know there's going to be new iPads, but for the DJI event, we've got no idea.
Okay, so let's talk about that really fast, not to get sidetracked, but selling a drone just in general is really hard. You cannot compare it to selling a phone. Like a new iPhone will come out and you sort of know it's a guaranteed thing that, hey, iPad is coming out, or hey, iPhone 10 or 11 is coming out. You know this. But with the drone, like especially with this one, they've very well kept it pretty much hidden from us. And not everybody needs a drone. Like a phone, everybody wants the next best phone because everybody knows what a phone is. But with a drone, not everybody knows how to fly it. There are a lot of people that are very much afraid to fly a drone or scared of it, and they're just not looking for it. Like if you put a drone up on OfferUp, I kid you not, you know how I sold my drone? YouTube. I sold it on YouTube. Joe, who's in the chat here, Joe Mariana, I thought he was just joking with me at first when he said it in a live stream. He said, I'm gonna buy your drone. Then he emails me. We just started talking, and funny enough, now we're like good friends. We talk almost every other day. And Joe also, I'm gonna tell him, Joe. Can I tell him? I think I should tell him. So I sold Joe the drone. The drone arrives. Joe's ecstatic. He's videoing it, showing me everything. He watches your video, Billy, to set the drone up. I don't know if Joe's still here. Joe's first flight loses, the drone crashes. I don't have a womp 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 sound, but he did recover it though. He recovered it. So sad. It's sad, but we're hopefully maybe DJI will take a look at the flight logs, figure out what happened, but very saddening.
Yeah. So I guess Eli, to answer your question, maybe hold on to it. I'm looking up some prices right now. The Matic Pro is going for $818 on Amazon and is still being sold for $999 on DJI's actual store online. So it's tough to think about what you want to price it at right now. Maybe if you want to try to get rid of it, you can probably get like $700 for it if it's in good condition.
But I don't know if eBay's a good choice. Like I don't know. I mean, you could
use eBay.
I don't like eBay.
Anybody in this chat don't use eBay. They've hit me with an invoice. I sold 2 items the same day, and I got hit with a $70 in 1 month and a $30 invoice just this month, 2 days ago. Do not use them. They take all your money.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of eBay. I just think it's a bad choice because you're sending something across the way, and if something happens, and I think John said this to me before. He said, yo, if you sell something on eBay, they're going to side with the buyer like 90% of the time. Joe and I worked something out. He PayPal'd me, and I verified the funds, and like it was a very secure transaction. So I would recommend, like, if you can work something out like that with somebody you physically know, roll with that. For the hell of it, film yourself an ad on YouTube showing that the drone is in mint condition. A lot of times people won't buy something if they don't know what it's going to do, if it works. Make an ad. Make a used drone ad. That's not a bad idea. Film yourself a used drone ad and then post it up and then put it in, I don't know if Craigslist is relevant, but put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace is a good spot, although I got a lot of people on Facebook Marketplace lowballing me, so.
Yeah, so I guess your audio is coming and going. My thought is it's probably the headphones.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little poppy. That blue Snowball's, you're going to have to get like a USB-C mic maybe, man.
Yeah.
Or you know,
down, guys.
or I'll have to bring that dock with me. If you don't have a dock, it's got a USB-A adapter. That may work out pretty good. So let's see what else we got on the docket today, man. I know we had some stuff here because it's 9:20 now. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show. I'm trying to keep these shows right at an hour, a little bit over an hour, give or take, so to speak. So anafi, first, I guess first impressions are sort of you know.
Yeah, the first
I was hoping for more
coming out. Me too. The first reviews coming out, people are saying about it. But again, people are saying about the Autel Evo, although I haven't really seen many people even review the Evo, right? Like,
I haven't got a chance to because I'm still waiting on like a software fix to fix the tilt, which we were promised we didn't get. Chino texted me last night a photo of the controller, and on the back of the controller, they misspelled specifications. Instead of using specifications and have a T in there, they put specifications with a Y. And I'm just like, how do you not catch that? Like, so it sort of makes me question at this point their quality control.
Yep.
You know, and I hate to sort of throw them out there and back the bus over them, but like seriously, like I know it's a misspelling, it can happen, but okay, what else are you overlooking at that point?
Right. Yeah, like something in the software or whatever. And sometimes, have you ever noticed when you're digging through the DJI software that sometimes they misspell words? I mean, they're a Chinese company. It makes sense.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Things like that annoy me because I think you should have people proofing, whether it be software applications. I mean, whatever it may be, you shouldn't let things go like that out in the wild. So probably 100+ units got hit with that specifications with the Y, I think is what they said. I mean, they caught it rather quickly from my understanding.
You might be able to sell that for more money.
Oklahoma Drone says, I'm watching your YouTube videos on the toilet at 240p. Bro, you're a soldier, dude. You are a soldier.
He's a trooper.
240p like a boss. So another thing I want to do is we're going to do like a little bit of a competition towards end of the month, every live stream, sort of a way we can give back. Basically, we're going to do like a top chatter of the month competition. And this doesn't matter if you've actually sent us a super chat. We're not rating it off of that. We're rating it off of your interaction with with us and the audience around you. So positive interaction with the audience, positive interaction with us, good or bad, you know, and if you show up to each show, Chino is going to be sort of taking note. We're recording the chop chat so we can sort of monitor it. And then at the end of the month, we're going to select one person. We're going to send you guys a $25 gift card to Amazon because I think Amazon's pretty much where everybody ends up going to buy stuff. So
yeah.
So I think that would be a fair deal. So top chatter of the month, $25 to Amazon, and we're going to pick that on the last show of the month. So you have 3 shows plus the show in order to get that. But yeah, so big shout out to Chino for all the logos and all the hard work he's been helping us with the channel and getting everything all in order and looking pretty. If you don't know who Chino is, Chino Santana, he's got a channel. We're going to go ahead and throw his channel into the mix in the link in the description to this video here. Go ahead and check him out if you have some time. He's putting out some videos, but he's a really super talented graphic designer. So very happy to be working with him. So thank you so much, Chino. DroneDJ, I got to ask you because I know you made the video. You talked about that you were going to be taking a role with DroneDJ. What does that mean? I know, again, you said it wasn't going to affect your channel at all.
Yeah, so I love to write. If you guys watch that video, I am a communications major at the university I go to, and one of the classes was literally revolved around running a blog. So the entire class, we ran like a university blog, and I don't even know how many people we got to view it, but it just, the whole process of creating posts and covering news and stuff like that was just a lot of fun. And so I kind of wanted to do that, but do it about something I like, because we were covering stuff around the university, and now I get to cover drones, which I talk about drones every day on my YouTube channel. I don't think that there's a day that goes by where I don't like type the word drone on my phone.
It's muscle memory at this point.
I know, right? My phone like recognizes that I type in D and it's like, did you mean drone? So I love writing. I hit up High. He's the editor in chief, I guess you could say, at DroneDJ. He's the one that has been making all of the posts. He probably has like 900 posts on DroneDJ. I really like the work. I really like the work that they've done So I emailed him, asked him if he could use some help, kind of jump on board, to which he replied yes. And it's just been a ton of fun being able to cover the news. And it's like an entirely different side of drones I've never seen. I mean, I'm writing about how drones are going to be orbiting Venus from like a Colorado-based company. Yeah, drones are going to be orbiting Venus. I'm writing about how, the Amazon delivery, they keep filing for new patents. One of these new patents is a way to prohibit people from actually like hijacking it with their own software.
That's definitely a concern.
Yeah.
I got to ask a question. How long does it take you to put together one of these articles? Because
it really
I see you posted a lot.
Yeah, probably like 17-ish by now. And it probably takes like sometimes an hour, sometimes 45 minutes. It really depends on like what information I can find out there, the research that I'm doing. Sometimes I'm writing about an article or a post or a story, I guess you could say, that I'm well versed on. Like let's say if I'm writing a post about DJI, I could bang that out in like 20 minutes. But if I'm writing about Venus, that took me like 3 hours because I continued to have to do research, checking out some different things. So it's a ton of fun. I'd recommend you guys go check out DroneDJ. It's just www.dronedj.com. They cover everything drones. And I've been starting to write over there. So I've got the past, I guess, week or so. And I'm going to be tweeting out some of the posts that I put out. I'm putting it through YouTube. And again, as Ken said, I'm really not going to try to like mix my content with DroneDJ. So anything I make for DroneDJ is going to stay there. And I'm not going to like make something for YouTube, port it over to DroneDJ, because I feel like that'd be unfair to everybody.
Sure, I can understand that. So also, if you guys weren't aware, DroneDJ also has a YouTube channel. They get a lot of hands-on exclusives with drones as well. Like, and I don't know, can we say what the network they're really a part of? DroneDJ, is that allowed? Or
yeah.
Okay.
No, so they're part of 9to5Mac. If you go to 9to5Mac, click on some of the other channels. Hey, Eli, thank you. Yeah, so Eli, thank you for the super chat, and also thank you for the kind words. I wrote a little piece on the first impressions of the Evo when I got to fly down to Ken and check it out. And he helped me out. Ken actually helped me out a lot in the background with that article, being able to not only check his drone out that he got, but also I used some of this footage. I used, he helped me with that, so I do have to say thank you to him. But I guess really quickly, when you mentioned DroneDJ's YouTube account, I'm going to throw a quick link in here. If you guys
throw it in the chat, guys. Like I said, right now they're in the growing stages of the channel, trying to solidify content and get that rolling. But I think for the most part, they're going to have a pretty prominent place here in the drone industry. At least online, they're huge. And then obviously their channel will begin to grow eventually as content starts coming off. But I mean, really, Hay has only been the only one really been working it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot for one person.
Yeah, I think that he's definitely happy that I'm giving him some help, because one person, I mean, that's crazy. And it's nice to be there to help him out. Hey, Lloyd, my late fee. No late fees.
There's no dues here, man. We're all friends. That's right. He's got to mail that out. I got a bunch of stuff I got to mail out too here. I got these right angle iOS cables that I found, which are just flawless. If you have an Evo and you're using an iPhone, right angle connections. I'm going to put a link in the video description for these cables. They are absolutely phenomenal. Like, honestly, it's ruined my experience with every other cable I've ever used. It's sort of a weird thing to say, but they're really good and great quality too, and they're pretty affordable.
Yeah, dude, those iPhone cables always rip. I've got one upstairs next to my bed, and it's just torn apart.
Yeah, it's crazy. I go through with the drone. I go through more cables for iOS than I actually do for just like not flying. So it's sort of weird.
It does make sense though.
I think I'm more abusive on that than anything else. So
you're throwing it in and out of your bag and stuff.
But all right. So I guess what I want to do now is just sort of take a quick moment, just open it up to the viewers, because I know like throughout the show you guys ask questions, but sometimes they blaze through so fast we don't get a chance to really pay attention to the chat as much as we'd like, and that's just because we have sort of like a little bit of an agenda here that we try to hit our points. Somebody said when we were live streaming, when you were here in the office, that it was an absolute mess and it was really hard to stay focused, and I apologize for that. We just got done shooting. We were still so hyped and we were getting ready to head out again to do some more filming. Mm-hmm. It's harder when both him and I are in the same room, because you have one mic, one computer, and then the internet was acting up and it was crazy. and
Oh,
all
that
my
was so bad.
and that was my fault. I take full responsibility for the Wi-Fi drop-in. You know, in my infinite wisdom, I put my router in between a NAS device, which is a hard drive, so you have hard drive spinning, creating frequency, and I put it in between a battery backup. So not only you have hard drive frequency, you now have a battery backup buzzing, and then the Wi-Fi router's in the middle. So I'm almost certain that was the issue. Now that I've put everything beneath the desk, it's fine. So I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully that fixes it. Hopefully that fixes it. But yeah, so we're going to open it up to you guys. If you have any questions for us, and it could be questions related to what we discussed here this evening or something you've seen on either one of our channels, go ahead and fire away.
Danny says, man up and make a solid prediction on what comes out the 18th. My solid prediction is it's something that wipes the floor with the Altel Evo.
You and Danny, dude. You and Danny have like this passive aggressiveness going on, dude. It's almost comical. I think Danny, you're a good sport, so Danny's
Yeah, no,
a
I
good
mean,
guy.
look, I agree why people might think that DJI is like a bad company because like they're Chinese and
But
they,
let's get real. So is Altel. Altel is developed and produced.
Yeah.
They're produced in Shenzhen. The only difference between Altel and DJI at this point, and I like both companies, the only difference is their support is solely here in the United States. And they did just add a lot more staff on board to accommodate the influx of traffic they were getting. So there's a lot of new people at Altel right now.
That's cool.
But-
Let's see. So Ken says, is there a chance that DJI will release another drone after the Mavic Pro 2 before the end of this year, like a Spark Air or Spark Pro? So it seems like he's really looking for a new Spark. And I've got a topic that I actually want to talk about, whether it's on here or whatever. I don't think that we're going to see another Spark anytime soon. I mean, if you upgrade anything on the Spark, then you start getting too close to the Mavic Air, and it might hurt sales of both of them. And more, it'll hurt sales of the Mavic Air. So if they implemented something like a 4K camera, right? It's like, oh well, this smaller drone can shoot 4K. Why would I buy that Mavic Air over this? So they really want to make sure that they don't push it too far.
Yeah, I think because at some point, what's going to end up happening is they're going to be competing against themselves, basically, and sort of cannibalizing their own sales. And I don't think that's a good idea. It's sort of like Samsung. Samsung is notorious for cannibalizing their own sales. They come out with the Galaxy S9. They have a Galaxy S9 Plus. Then they come out with a Note. Yep. And it's like, at some point you're competing against just yourself in a very small marketplace, even though it seems large. So I don't think we'll see a Spark. I think it was a good experiment. I think that experiment led up to the Mavic Air. The Mavic Air is tiny, but I don't really want a tiny drone, though. I know that sounds weird. I want to travel with it, but I don't want a small drone.
I don't want to sacrifice like power and camera quality for something that's more portable,
Right.
Like the Mavic Air is a great size, but you do sacrifice a couple of things like OcuSync, and you also sacrifice what's it called? Flight time. I mean, it's probably got a better camera than the Mavic Pro, but I want something that's a little bit more big, a little bit more robust, and that's why I love traveling with the Phantom 4 Pro.
So Joe asked, do you think DJI will live stream the event on the 18th? I think if it's Mavic, yes. I think they're going to live stream something.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they would not live stream anything. I think that at this point, DJI is such a big brand that they have the power to just live stream everything. They've got the funds to live stream everything. And, some of these other things, they wouldn't make like a big deal about and say, join us for this, and while they haven't officially announced it, we know they're going to probably officially announce it like 2 weeks beforehand. And also, when they released like the Zenmuse X7, that wasn't live streamed, but that's a smaller release. I mean, even though it's expensive,
right.
It's a smaller release.
I think if it's Mavic Pro 2, we're gonna see a live stream. No doubt, absolutely live stream. Mitchell Gaiman asks, will the Mavic Pro 2 be a lot better than the Evo? I think it will just be different. Better is really in the eyes of the beholder. I mean, at this point, I think people have developed an opinion of what brand they want to endorse. So, we'll have to see. Right now, there's nothing finalized. We don't have any specs. There's no leaks. They've kept this one very tight-lipped, so it'll be very interesting to see when it comes down. Let's see. Better camera.
Do you think, Mark said, do you think that DJI is going to do something to fill or close the price gap between the Spark and the Mavic? I think that, like, if anything, they're going to have to drop the Spark's price.
Or either that or the Mavic Air's price. What is the Mavic Air right now? $799?
$799 and haven't seen it on sale at all.
I think we'll probably see a price drop in that soon because the anafi is $699. So I think the Air should probably could come down $50 or maybe even $100 to sort of.
Yeah, I agree.
And it doesn't have to, because apples to apples, the anafi is missing a lot of key features that the Mavic Air has. So I mean, realistically, they don't have to lower the price of that, but they can if they just, again, they're wanting to cut people off at the knees, lower the price. That's the easiest way to go. I'm sure the margin on that drone is ridiculous. Zeppy says Evo will sell for $799. Sorry. That's a very strong possibility. I think that's a stretch. I think we would see $899. $899 could possibly happen.
Yeah, let's see. I saw an interesting comment.
Man, the chat is moving so fast, it's hard to see it.
Z says, what happened to the leak phantom pictures with the interchangeable lenses? So DJI came out and said that wasn't real. They said it was a one-off for a customer. They made like a custom drone, although I think that's just their way of covering this up.
Sure.
I mean, they're not going to waste this tech. Even if this was for a customer, a custom order for a customer, they're going to use that tech in some of their other drones to sell to consumers.
So Danny says lots of Evo hating here. It's not that anybody's hating on the Evo. It's just that we have to be 100% real with this product. They had 6 months to finish a product that's not ready to go. I've heard numerous stories and numerous talks from people, not only just myself, where either A, they couldn't get their drone launched, or they're having drifting issues. Chances are a lot of it can all be addressed via software or firmware update, but we have to let them get to that point. So that's the primary reason why I have not pushed my review out, because I am waiting for finalized software before I make a final assessment. I mean, bottom line is people are going to spend $1,000 on it, and everybody spends their $1,000 differently. And I would be pissed if I bought something that wasn't up to par, or up to snuff, I guess the best way to put it. So we're just being honest, we're just being real. It's not hate. It's just, you got to look at it like from what's the value for. Sorry, I'm just going through the chat.
When will an Inspire 3 come out? I once again Inspire 2 for a good price. So
honestly,
I don't know,
the Inspire 1 was impressive. The Inspire 1 was an impressive drone, man.
The Inspire 1 is already sick, and for them to capitalize that with the Inspire 2, I don't think we'll see an Inspire 3 for another year or two. I'm still in the running for an Inspire 2. I can tell you that'll be coming to my channel within the month. And,
I hope you get inspired by the time I get up there. I don't think you will, because we only got a week and a half, 2 weeks before I'm flying out up there.
I'm not hesitant to pull the trigger on an Inspire 2 right now, because I don't think that they'll be coming out with any new Inspires soon.
They really don't need to with all these new cameras that they've launched. They sort of don't need to. They can just sort of let the Inspire.
It's in its own category. There's really nothing that is.
Oh my gosh! And it's
against it.
I tell you, I was flying Mel's Inspire this past weekend, and that's the first time I've ever seen one in person and do the whole process. And I was just like,
yep.
I just heard angels in my head, man. It was just like, this is amazing. And then you hit the controller, and this thing just is like 45 miles an hour, zipping around. All I could think in my mind was, don't wreck it while you're holding the controller.
Could you imagine?
Dude, there was a shot in the clouds, man, because it was a very low, cloudy day. We were 393 feet, and the clouds were just zipping across the line of the Inspire. It looks amazing.
That's so cool.
And that wasn't even the good. He has the camera on that, the base model camera on it, because the other one got was wrecked in that video he did. So Gino said, "Hey, I already requested off on July 17th. Fantastic. That's going to be a good day."
Here's something interesting. I'm just looking around right now. So the Alpine White combo at Apple looks to come with two extra batteries, correct? And it's only $9.99.
What's that?
The let's see.
What is that one?
Yep. So if you go to Apple's website right now, it's only at Apple. For some reason, it won't let me add it to the bag. Maybe that's because you have to
What craft is that?
It's the Matic Pro. Here, I'm gonna throw a link in here for you guys. Everybody.
The Alpine White version. That's not a platinum, is it?
It's not platinum. I'm gonna throw this link in here. Come on, send. I don't think it's gonna let me send.
So Ken Ingram asked, the DJI Go app has a lot of bugs lately, so how does the Evo and Parrot apps compare? Okay, so I can't really speak firsthand from Parrot just because I don't have it in my hands. However, from the early reviews, depending on what review you watched, some people had no problems, some people had a lot of problems. Somebody who I'd recommend going to check out, who I thought did a very fair comparison, is Authentic. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a name in here because I think Ben Schmacky does a great job of reviewing equipment, and he does like some very affordable reviews. But he did probably the best comparison of the anafi that I've seen to date. He sort of stayed in the middle with it. It was fair. He talked about any issues that he had, and it wasn't like, it didn't start off as like, okay, this is competing against DJI. I don't even think he mentioned it one time. I like when you review something and you just stick to what you're reviewing and you don't mention, there's no other comparison. Just talk about what you're reviewing because that's what people want to see. Yeah. So check out that. Oh, it's too long to paste, it says. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, no, my link was too long to paste, but if you guys go check on Apple's website, their Alpine White Edition, so it's like the white version of the Matic Pro, white controller, the white aircraft. It comes with two extra batteries, so you get three batteries for, I mean, really the price of the regular Matic Pro.
Okay, so Zeppi said Android crashes with DJI app, not iOS. I've heard that. I've personally experienced that, but it's so in retrospect, you were asking about which one's better in that regard. I would say Autel has the better Android app, but even if the app crashes, you don't need a phone to fly it or bring it back home. You can just flip over and pull everything up on your OLED display on your controller, and then you don't have to worry about it. So I don't think Autel's really relying too heavily on the phone other than just your visuals. So again, even if it crashes, not a big deal. The drone still has your home point, still has everything you need to get it back home. So a little different situation. I can't speak for Parrot, but that controller does look sweet, and the app looks really well done.
Yeah. Z says that Micro Center has the Platinum Fly More package for $1,100, the Mavic Pro Platinum. So that's a good price.
So I saw a video today. I'm not going to say who it came from, but I saw a video today. Guy says, well, how do you prevent prop shots on the Evo? Because apparently this is like an epidemic with people. And this was his one tip. Yeah. So you know what he says? This is his tip. You ready for it? Lower your gimbal 13 degrees. I'm like, if you can't figure that out on your own, you should not be flying. Unbelievable. Can you fellas explain to a non-DJI fan, me, about Litchi app? It's third party, I think. What does it do that DJI does not?
I don't know. I'm not much of a fan of Litchi app. I haven't used it.
When I've used Litchi before, it would offer you autonomous flight modes that were not in the stock application for DJI. I mean, it's very well done, but the problem is with Litchi, it's third party. It's not tested. If something should happen and you crash your drone, you are SOL. DJI is going to tell you you are on your own. It's like using a third party battery. I'm very much against third party apps with drones. I just don't think it's a safe or a good way to go. Did Autel put the screen on the controller so when the app crashes, you can maybe get the drone back? I think maybe. I think they more or less did it as a convenience to get the drone up in the air as quickly as possible. And so far, it's really proven to be that you can absolutely get it up in the air very quickly just with the controller itself. So that's a very good possibility.
Here's another thing too about that built-in screen, and this is even true with the Mavic Pro if you're just looking at the telemetry. I remember me and Ken were flying over some water and my phone died. So
that was so scary, dude.
I had nothing on the screen, and I kind of lost orientation with myself, so I didn't know which way the turns come back. So I just hit return to home, and I could see that the drone was still moving, increasing its height up, turning, and the distance was lowering. So I could tell that it was coming back to me, and like that was huge. So, I mean, that built-in screen really does help.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, and I don't like the trust return to home ever. I got a message from Georgie Hernandez today, and he's like, dude, I almost lost it. He goes, I couldn't figure out where it was, and I hit return to home, and it just started taking off in another direction. So it's one of those things that, like, you take a risk, you take a gamble every time you do hit return to home. And especially like us, we were over water, and even though we weren't driving the boat, we were sort of drifting around. We were losing our home point like crazy. So we had to be very, very careful, as to where or how far we let the batteries get down. Matter of fact, your Mavic gave me a scare because I heard it say Landon. And I'm like, what? What do you mean, Landon? You're like freaking 100 yards out. How is it? What? So that's, you know, that's sort of scary. Just going through any more questions. No more questions.
I think that we're pretty much wrapping up here, guys.
I think so. I'm going to be working on a couple of like smaller videos this week. Not going to really. I'm going to sort of scale back because in the following week I'll be up in Philly with Billy. So I'm annoyed.
You try to fly out Friday instead of Thursday.
Yeah, I know. I got to call American Airlines because they're like, they won't let me. I can't use the overhead compartments with economy. Can you believe that? And they won't let me upgrade.
That's so weird.
I don't understand that. So I gotta give them a call.
That's so dumb.
I don't know, but I gotta get some sleep. I'm running a 5K tomorrow. Can you believe this?
Really?
Dude, I've not run in 2 years, and my brother talks me into a 5K.
Well, you're the one that said yes.
R.I.P. R.I.P. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. Anyways, look out for the video Wednesday. So you know what? I guess I probably should launch it tomorrow. I didn't really think about it, but with 4th of July being Wednesday, I probably shouldn't launch it Wednesday. I should probably launch it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably launch the video tomorrow with Mel. I thought that one came out pretty good. So, anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for all the super chats, guys. You are all absolutely phenomenal. And we'll be back next weekend or next Monday. Hopefully, Billy will have a new mic by then, and we won't have any issues. Getting a new mic?
I got to.
Yeah, well, you know what? You need it. I kicked it. I got the Razer Siren, and very happy.
Sounds
very
good.
happy.
It sounds really good.
It does, man. I'm like it because it doesn't get all the clack, clack, clack from the keyboard. I'm an avid gamer.
No,
so.
It does. A little bit.
Does it? These keys are loud. Who am I lying to?
Yeah, they were really loud, dude.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much. We will catch you guys next week for Up in the Air Live. Hopefully, we'll have a popcorn-free show.
Yeah, maybe in a click-clack-free show there, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Stay original, guys. That's where you go. That's where you go. Peace. You gotta go. Peace.
Peace.